many sources. Whether it was my mother, whether it was family members, whether it was friends, whether it was next door neighbors or my mom's boyfriends or different adults that I met in the neighborhood, that was very common. It seems that it's everywhere anyway. I mean, really, that's what it seems like. We all know that. We all know that it's out there. Okay? So this was introduced to me at a very early age. I have some stories that I could share with that. Is it really necessary? I guess not. It's just, I liked it because when I was a little grown up, it made me giggle. Made me giggle a lot. It made me paranoid. A lot of people didn't want to get stoned with me because I'd be paranoid. Okay? In my younger years. I'm talking younger years, not now. So die-hard pot smokers didn't want to get stoned with me because, and this is educational here, because I would be paranoid. I'd always be worried. Even to the point that I remember telling people a few times on a second-story building that, there's cops in a helicopter hoovering by the window or something, okay? This is how I used to get it, and I would jump behind the sofa and stuff. People didn't like it. Some people thought it was funny. Other people just seriously didn't like it. You're ruining my buzz, they would say. So I'm not so much like that anymore, but I guess my creative imagination, as I got older, I realized my creativity, the way I think, I start thinking and perceiving things a lot differently. Healthier, believe it or not. It helps to keep me calm. If I start getting really worked up, it'll start to keep me calm. So I often thought that if I lived in a state, I'd probably have it medically prescribed, legally, prescribed. I don't do it now, but I thought, as I got older, I wish it would. I remember telling you a story about a guy I knew that did it for his eyes. Well, my situation, whether it's anxiety or whatever it is, it's just, I get explosive, and let me tell you, that would calm me down for a long time, and I mean, for the week, just for a little bit. I don't need a whole lot, and I know this from history, not now, history. So we had some times with that. That was really big. Drinking and marijuana, cigarettes. Them were the main things. Occasionally I would meet different people. I won't say who or what, but I did dabble with cocaine. And I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. It would open up my eyes, keep me awake, but it wasn't doing anything for me. I didn't like it. People put fear in me. You're going to be addicted to it for the rest of your life. And can I just encourage you, please don't do it. Don't do anything that I'm talking about. I'm sharing with you my life testimony. And let me tell you this right now. I'm not proud that I did it. I wish I wouldn't have. I saw other people doing it. I was curious. I want to try all this stuff. What are the pros? What are the cons? Why are people saying don't do it? Why are people saying do it? For me, it opened up my eyes. I could drink a lot more. But I'll tell you what, I didn't like it. And when people would ask me, I could easily turn that down. Not a problem. Don't want it in my life at all. I don't want it in my life. Marijuana, legally prescribed, if that would ever come around, absolutely. I'd probably be one on the list right away. Little dosages, just enough to keep me at a medium pace with my anxiety, with my anger sometimes that I might get stressed out. My stress is what I should say, not anger, frustration, stress. Seems to help, and it helps with my creativity as an artist, Not these other things. They never seem to help me. I talked about this a lot with my psychiatrist, my psychologist, and remember, I told you I was in 2 mental institutions trying to deal with this. I'm a deep thinker, and this drove me mentally crazy all my life. And I don't mean crazy like I'm crazy, I can't function. I mean, this is driving me wild, and I should have been taken out in my art, my music and stuff. Everybody keeps saying that to this day. Right now I want to take it out and sharing with you my life story. I wanted to write a book about it. This is even better. Nowadays people want to listen, they can see. So another thing that I dabbled in later years, in my early 20s, was acid. Did you ever do that? Anything that I'm asking you, please don't do it. Please don't do it. I'm not encouraging it at all. I was with a friend, I won't say who, and we dabbled with this in my early 20s, so this is 20-some years ago. And can I tell you, it was a wild experience. I had a meltdown, is what I call it. And I remember they were working on, they're going to know who I'm talking about when I share this, but I'm not sharing who it was, so please don't worry. It's between you and I. But I remember going up and watching them work on their car and doing body work. And I remember how it used to kind of liquidate. Ever see that? Liquidation started to happen. And this was flipping my mind out. And let me tell you something, that I went that day, and it was dark out, and I said I had to go to the restroom. I was drinking that day. I wasn't driving this time. I was not driving at all. I wouldn't drive. And I went, and I stood in I went to the bathroom in the back. I was standing in the back for a while, and then I went to the bathroom. And I started seeing images. Whether they were real images or not, it looked like spirits would kind of look on a movie or something, you know. It was kind of like there was people standing there staring at me, kind of greenish. Was it because the body putty was kind of green? I don't know if this just carried out what was happening there. And I heard a lot of people talking, whispering. A lot of people I talked to after this said that I had a bad trip. Okay, that's what they call it, a bad trip. I remember I wasn't feeling too good about doing this. I went home with them. We took their car home. And at some point I had to leave. It was time for me to go. I couldn't stay there. I lived back at the trailer with my mother. And I drove. I had a race car, muscle car at that time, an Aspen, 77 Dodge Aspen, had a 340 in it, double pumper, Holley 780 carburetor, 750, one or the other, 3 grand torque converter, 727 transmission with a shift kit, and 411 gears in the back, or 391. It was one or the other. I think I had 411 gears put in the back. 8 3/4 rear for all the motor heads out there. You know, I know a little bit about it. I knew what I had in it, but I didn't know how to work on it. But I knew this stuff because I was raised around people with cars. And I always had my friends work on my cars. So, and I'm driving this car, and I'm scared. I'm scared to go home. I finally did. Remember I told you I was landscaping probably at this time. No, I wasn't landscaping. Actually, I had a job, and now I remember. Okay, I wasn't doing landscaping. I was doing something else. So I had to get home. I had to work the following day. Okay, now it's very clear. And I parked my car over there by my grandparents' house, and I walked across the street into the trailer. Remember I told you I parked on my grandparents at some point. I say that in the video. I might have taken it out or whatever. I don't know if it's still there, but it should be there. I parked my car over at my grandparents' great-grandma's trailer. I walked over to a trailer where my mom lived, and at that time I was sleeping on the couch in the living room. My mom was back in the bedroom, and she knows about this, by the way. I shared it with her and how scared I was, and I promised her. I shared everything with my mom. She was my best friend. I told her I'd never do this again, and I never did. Never did it. Not after this. Trust me. Listen to what I'm saying. In the middle of the night, I heard voices, and it wasn't just one or two. It sounded like 100, thousands of them. And they sounded deep and dark, just going all over my head. And I walked out to the kitchen. I'm not going to go into too much detail of it, but I walked out to the kitchen, and before I knew it, I was hearing some voices very clearly telling me to do stuff that there's no way that I would have ever done. Okay? And I just say it like that. And I remember being out in the kitchen, praying, begging a God that I believed in at the time, to please give me strength, help me get through this. Help me. God, please stop this. I'm so sorry I did this. Can I tell you, I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry I did it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. It was not everybody who knew me said I had a bad trip, and let me tell you something, it was bad. It was bad even if it was a good one. Okay? It was bad. Don't do this stuff. Please. I did. I was a fool. Let me tell you something. I have nothing to say about marijuana. I think they should legalize it. That's my opinion. I have nothing to say about drinking if you're doing it all responsibly. Okay? Responsibly and legally. Okay? Because there's guidelines, and there's reasons for those guidelines. But this acid that I'm telling you about, don't do it. This is man-made chemicals that were put onto paper that you put onto your tongue and stuff. And can I just say, It was a bad experience, even if it was considered a good one. I went and left the kitchen. I went back to the sofa. I buried my head underneath the pillows, just pleading and pleading that these voices would stop. Okay? It was an awful feeling. I shared it with my mom the next day when I got back from work. Ironically, she got me up. Somehow I fell asleep. It woke me up. I went to work that day. There was a guy that was there that was so cool. Remember, I told you the cool guys kind of adopted me and they kind of took me in. That's usually what ends up happening with me is cool guys who recognize my femme side or whatever. They kind of adopt me into, so cut the grief down a little bit. You know, and they have a little buddy, little brother, little sister. You know, at that time it was a little brother. Now it's a little sister. Mark my words, it's a little sister. And I told him honestly what I did. And I told him how scared I was. He was very serious about it, about being there with me. He kept me under his wing that whole day. Okay? We did things outside. We worked outside. It was a place that we did MIG welding. I didn't like using the torch, but at that time I was a MIG welder. It was funny, me being a MIG welder. If you knew me, it's not a job for me. These people knew it too, but I needed a job. I needed to make money, and I did anything to make money at that time, you know. And he stuck with me that whole day. And I tell you that this trip lasted for almost 33 hours. 33 hours. Would not go away. It was getting better and better, and because I was talking to somebody who was accepting me, go to people you can trust. Go to people you know you can trust. Explain. Don't ever try to do stuff by yourself. If you already done something, go to somebody you can trust. I trusted him. He was protective over me. I wasn't going to lose my job. It wasn't going to make a big deal out of this. And if anything was going to happen to me health-wise, he was there. He got it under control. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong for you to do. Go to people you can trust and deal with it responsibly. Don't do it. How's that? If I could go back in time, I wouldn't do it. My opinion. So he kept me under his wing. And he had a couple laugh moments. And he would check in on me on my break. You doing okay? How you feeling? He bought me a soda. I'll never forget. He bought me a soda. And to me, that was a big deal. This guy, this cool guy, he's buying me a soda. He was a musician. I know I'm very attracted to musicians, of all kinds of musicians. You find that out as I talk more. I love rock and rollers. It doesn't matter if they're on television or on the radio. Rock and rollers are cool to me. You know, I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about cars. So this was cool. This rock and roller who took me under his wing, he was a little bit older than me. Probably 10 years older than me. To this day, I like guys older than me. In their 50s right now. 40s, yeah, 50s. Yeah. So with that being said, I say that a lot. With that being said, with that being said, with that being said, can I say it again? With that being said, I know I shouldn't have done it. I did it. I would never do it again. I have stories to tell. And I remember driving my car from my friend's house to home, hearing those voices, and when I would turn the wheel, it would look like my hand had a whole lot of flashes after it. So it was like I had a million hands. If you ever see that in the movies or something like that, it was very much alive like that in my head. I shared it with my mom the day after that about what happened. Thank goodness I didn't lose my job. I was still having those illusions of seeing the color green and different things gelling around me, and I would explain it to him, and he's like, calm down, you'll be okay, you'll be okay. You don't have to just look busy, I'll help you, nobody's gonna do anything. And he actually got me to, I think I ended up getting sent home early, sick, just being sick. He worked it out. He was a supervisor, very well respected at that company. I'm not going to say what it was, I don't know if he works there or not, but he was very well respected. And he got me out of there, you know. People loved me. He took me under their wings. At this same factory that I worked at night shift for a while too. Can I say this was just a transition over from night shift to first shift? So it was kind of, I didn't want to lose that position. Number one, I didn't want to lose my job. And after that, I never did it. he would check in with me for a while after that. How are you doing and stuff. I mean, these guys cared. And then just third shift when I worked there, and I told you I was a MIG welder, there was times that I had to help people and bend things over. During this time, I'm wearing my thongs. And let me tell you, rumor gets around a place that you work in a factory, especially with a lot of guys. And that time you're being portrayed as a guy wearing thongs. I got teased a lot. I got teased a lot, and I didn't know how to take that. That time I started being like, well, they're guy thongs. You know, at first he was like, are you wearing girl panties? Ask me that again. Yes. Oh yes. I have my girly panties on. All the time. At that time it was guy panties. Thongs. That was a big deal to me. I wanted to wear thongs. You know? I wanted to wear different colored panties. I wanted to be sexy. I was trying to make myself sexy. Not through drugs. Through clothing. I'm coming out slowly. Did you notice as I'm talking? I'm coming out slowly. I didn't come out as fast as I thought I did. I'm coming out slowly. Since birth. Since share. Okay, I'm not saying guys with long hair are trans. Please understand this. I'm saying from my own life journey. This is all adding up to me. I went through evaluations. I reevaluated my own history. Drugs, no. Don't do it. Stay away from it, please. I love you enough to tell you don't do it. So, with that being said, okay, I'm tired. I shared it with my mom. My mom was very grateful, and she said she didn't know how to take it. She didn't know if she should lock her bedroom door now, if I should move, this, that, and the other. And I assured her, I gave her my word. Mom, if you see this, I gave you my word, and I stuck to it. I would never do that again. I never did it again after that, never. And I was asked, nope. I wanted to feel it again, but I'll tell you what, I didn't want to experience all that I was experiencing again. Never again. 33 hours. 33 hours. Figure that out. 33 hours. 33 hours exactly. And I won't ever do it again. So we talked a lot about that. Even, I'll be honest with you, when I was in a mental institution. You guys can think, this is crazy. What's she talking about mental institution? Let me tell you that I used to feel concerned about that too, but there's periods of times when people just need to get away. You need to get away. And let me tell you something. The places that I've been, they're devoted to getting inside your head and finding out quickly what is going on in there. What are you dealing with? What are you struggling with? Because that's all it is. It's like taking your car to a garage and getting a tune-up on the motor. I had to get a tune-up on my head a couple times. Okay, I'm better now. I'm really good now. I'm at my best up here. I know myself better than ever before. I have an understanding of the world around us. Not full understanding. I have a better understanding. Okay. So them were the only drugs I really dabbled around with. I wanted to try everything. I wanted to sample everything. Never did heroin, never did crack. I don't have any desire to at all to do these things. I heard horror stories. I have friends who died doing these things. Addicted, heavily addicted. I will never do these things. Okay? Will not. So please don't ask me. I don't do any drugs. You can ask me, I'll tell you no. Help yourself, but I'm going to encourage you not to. I was talking about the thongs. Let me see, how much time do I have left here? I think I'm running out of time. Maybe, maybe not. My panties, changing it over from Fruit of the Looms. Of course, you heard me talk about John Travolta. When I got especially into my teen years, of course, throughout my childhood, throughout my childhood, I'm dabbling in with my sisters, within my mothers, within my brother's girlfriends, within my girlfriends. You see how it's working? I want to wear panties. I want to wear lingerie. I want to wear boots. I want to play with adult toys already before I'm even in 4th grade. I don't know if everybody's natured like this. I am. Is it because of things I was exposed to throughout my life? Maybe. kissing neighborhood. Everybody was kissing. It was contagious. By the time I'm in 3rd grade, heading 4th grade, for sure. For sure this was happening. It might have been happening even before then. If I go back in time, it might be. But I'll tell you what, definitely can tell you I was wearing lingerie and playing with adult toys by the time I was in 4th grade, 100% sure in Union Alley. I was doing it. Okay? I don't regret it. I regret it. I was tapping in to my inner spirit, to the things that are pleasurable for me. Only I was living in a society that's saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. You're going to get hurt for doing this. Don't do it. I even had people lie to me. You're going to hurt yourself if you do it. Let me tell you something. I talk to a lot of medical doctors. Okay, I have good relationships with a lot of medical doctors. They ain't going to hurt. I'm not telling you to go out and do anything, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of rumors. Well, if you know, I'm going to tell you straight up, if you have anal penetration, you're going to mess things up. Maybe if you're not doing it right, but I assure you, if you do it right, you don't have to worry about it. Okay? I had to worry about it. I had to worry about these things. People are lying to me. They're lying to me. Taking away my joy. Okay? I'll leave it at that. You guys might be laughing, thinking this is funny. Don't take away my joy. Don't take away other people's joys just because you don't have understanding, because you're taking what other people have taught you for years upon years, okay? A BS to control and manipulate us and oppress us, taking us away from our joy, separating us from ourselves. It's a joy to me. I'll be the first to tell you right now. I love anal and I love anal intercourse. For me. It's for me. I'm not saying it's for you. Don't take away my joy. Don't tell me I'm going to hurt myself. As a kid growing up, don't tell me that. If I'm going to do it, let's get educated. Let's get educated. Let's educate our kids. Can we educate our children? You know? I had to find this stuff out. Sometimes I didn't find things out for sure until I got older. I was scared. I didn't know how to have anal intercourse. I was little, but I was figuring it out in 4th grade already with toys. Scared, not knowing what's going to happen to me. For years, I wondered if what I was doing is going to cause some serious problems. Okay? I'm not saying I could have. Thank goodness I found it in the end. I didn't have to worry about it. Okay? I don't have to worry about it. So all you hot Italian men that are comfortable and confident with who you are, you like transsexual ladies? I'm telling you right up. I love it. I love it, and I'm clean. Okay? Let's stop there for now. So we're talking about underwear, and this started throughout my whole life. Into my teen years, started working out more, started getting into catalogs. As some of you may know, I'm going to tell you right up, undergear. Undergear was a big one for me. Thank you, undergear, for making clothing attire available, undergarments available that were masculine, or considered masculine, but yet attractive, different, colorful. We can decorate ourselves now like women do. Why do we live in a world where it's considered, or so we did, where only women can style their hair and wear makeup? Why is it only women can wear thigh-high boots? Why is it only women, in my day and age, why is it only women that can dress like tomboys if they want to? Or they can wear boys' clothing. Why can't a guy wear girls' clothing? Go to school. Hang out, get a job. Be comfortable, be themselves. Why can't we do it? I feel comfortable this way. Do I look comfortable? I hope so. I'm very comfortable. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm very comfortable in women's clothing. It's who I am. Thank you, 80 rockers and rollers, because if it wasn't for them, they opened up the doors. They might not realize how powerful they were. They opened up doors, and the rock and roll chicks were a part of that too. Because there was a lot of similarities in their attire, you know, leather pants and their hairstyles and wearing makeup. It was almost like there was no separation in a way. And please know I'm saying that respectively. They said, they were right there in your face saying there is no separation. We can be pretty, you know? We can be pretty and rock and roll. And I remember, is it Vince Neil that said it? And please forgive me for saying this. Is it, we look pretty and we'll kick your ass too? Was it Vince Neil that said, we look pretty or we look good, and we'll kick your A2, we'll kick your butt too. I don't know if it was him, was it Nikki Sixx? I think it was somebody from Molly Group or someone. For some reason, I don't know if it was true or not. Please know that I'm not quoting and I don't know for sure, but I remember little stuff like that. You know, watching these behind the music scenes and stuff. You know, so I idolized these rockers. A lot, obviously. But I'm sharing my life story. Only mine goes much deeper than an image to rock and roll. It taps into my inner spirit, how I want to express myself artistically. Maybe to some of you, I'm a boy. I'm a gay boy. Very gay boy. Maybe some other slang words that I won't use. I'm a human. I'm a human with a heartbeat. I'm a human with a heart. I care. I have feelings. I have needs. I have desires. Okay? I want to be attractive. I want to attract to me what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in girls. Friends. I'm interested as girls or friends. I'm interested in guys. How can I attract them my way a little bit? Can you help me? Leave a comment. What could I do to attract the right guys to me? I don't know. I'm questioning. I'm working on it. To change my attitude a little bit, maybe? Maybe, just a little. Just a little. I don't know. I question these things, you know? I don't want to be alone. Completely. I want alone time, but I don't want to be completely alone. I like variety. I like to have fun. I'm a very open-minded individual, you know? So all this stuff goes through. 80s rock and roll kind of opened the door for everybody, you know? Guys, I'm not saying that they were transsexuals or nothing like that. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that they were gay or anything. Listen, I'm not saying that by any means. I don't want to get hurt. What I'm saying is, they opened up the doors for people like myself to sociably wear women's clothing. Okay, I'm a transsexual. I don't have any problems with it now. I don't need people opening up doors for that. Let me just tell you, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And there's times I'll wear my schoolgirl outfits outside. I don't care. I want to wear my heels. I'm going to wear my heels, okay? My thigh-high boots, I'm going to wear them. I'm going to look like an exotic. I'm going to look like Savannah did in some of her films. So what? Get over it. Get over it. It's America. Freedom and equality for all. Okay? I'm not hurting anybody. Expressing myself. So are my girlfriends. So is my family, my sisters, my brothers. Everybody. We're all doing it. I'm not talking about my immediate family. You know what I'm talking about. LGBT community. Tired of being oppressed. Oppressed by people's ideas of how we should be living our lives. Okay? All we want to do is be ourselves. We don't want to create any kind of disturbance. We just want to be ourselves. Can I just say kindly, get over it. If you're watching this and you have things going through your mind, please consider getting over it. Have a heart. Not everybody has the same idea of living. We all have different ideas. Okay? I love you. Give me a chance to share my life story. Maybe someday you'll get to meet a girl and you might be the lifesaver. You might be her superhero. Okay? Maybe the girl that was in New York that I hear sometimes. I hear about stories about girls in different areas, but I remember recently a girl was killed in New York. Maybe you'll be the one that stops that and says, no, I don't think so. You know, I don't think, not this time. Not this time, buddy. Not this time are you going to use the excuse you didn't know any better. Because it is no excuse. Shock to the system does not give a person a right to take another person's life. Unfortunately, I'm learning. Somebody has to stand up and say, I am a transsexual. I'm a transsexual. Alright? Did I want to live my life just being a lady? Not just being a lady, but being a lady. Yeah, More than anything. More than anything. The world's pretty tough on us right now. And I'm tired of hearing these stories. Okay? I'm a transsexual lady. Deal with it. Okay? There's other people in the world. Deal with it. We don't all live the same life. We were all raised different beliefs. There's many different cultures throughout the world. Alright? Whoever's in charge of legal documentations and stuff like that, get over it. Get over it. I have stories to share about that. Get over it. Alright? Please. You have no idea what it's like that we're going through. What I went through. No idea. I have no idea what you're going through, what you had to go through. Okay? But I'm not poking and making fun at you. I'm not trying to rip you off your bike. I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm not trying to deny you a job. Okay? Because of your gender status. Doesn't meet my standards and expectations. Okay? For people who think it's hard at this time to get a job, you don't know what it's like for me, for other people like me, people of all walks of life, different diversities. Get over it, please. There's more things in life to worry about than somebody's sexuality and somebody's physical appearance, their gender. There's so many things to worry about other than that. So I continued to go on with my panties, okay? I'm gonna be honest, with my panties. My underwear at the time. And throughout dating my girlfriends, I wore their clothing when they didn't know, obviously. My last girlfriend, she didn't even know, and I watched a lot of adult films at that time, but it wasn't because, it wasn't for perverse reasons, if that's what somebody's thinking. It wasn't for that. I've got to be honest, I used to watch these films and fantasize. Dramatically. And I will even tell you straight up, even while self-pleasing myself. I wanted to be the girl. I want to be the girl. Not that girl. I want to be the girl. With my girlfriends, I want to be the girl. I want to be the girl. I am the girl. I am. It might not be your standard of what a girl should be or what you've been taught. Okay? You've been taught one thing, doesn't mean it's true. I'm a lady. A little bit different than being a girl. Goes on with that, and eventually I came out and I started wearing clothes. So it was actually, when I look back, it wasn't an immediate shock to everybody else it was, but I've been doing this my whole life. So my family, my friends that I grew up with understand this has always been going on. So when I came out and it was such a big surprise to everybody, can I just say, really? Was it? I was good then. I hit all this that good? My whole life? I'm going to be 41 this year. I probably came out when I was about 34, 33. Missed out on a lot, too. Missed out on a lot. I hope nowadays transsexuals are going to proms, sociably being accepted. I hope they're getting asked out on dates, sociably accepted. I hope they're becoming cheerleaders, sociably accepted. If they got the talent, they got the talent. Did I say if they got the talent? I'm not saying I had the talent. I just want to wear the outfit. Okay? They got the talent. Sociably accept them. Stop denying them. They're here to enjoy their life journey. We all are here to enjoy our life journey. Let's not look at the negative things about it, whatever we perceive that to be. Let's stop believing what we've been told and start reevaluating things a little. Okay? We may be missing out on opportunities. Same for the guys. Or whatever. Some of the girls, the transsexuals, not all transsexuals want to be with guys. Some of them want to be with girls. Some of them want to be with other transsexuals. Oh, let me tell you, there's a lot to learn here, isn't there? Quite confusing. Let us get over it together and let's learn. Let's learn a little bit. How can we make our life more pleasurable? Who knows what we're missing out on? Some of your best friends in all the world could be transgendered. You know what's transgender? I'm going to explain a little bit about that from my perspective. What are we missing out on? Remember I talked about the gay guys I met in Union Alley? You know, and I'm not laughing at them, I'm laughing at me. This all has been a trickling effect all my life. I wanted so bad to be their friend. I wanted to get to know. I wanted to talk about things. What did I miss out on? Because I was worried about what my friends and everybody's saying. They ain't my friends. I'll tell you right now, you're no friend of mine if you're judging me because of the friends I have. Or I want to make. How about that? I want to make. That isn't cool. I'll tell you what's cool. What's cool is being an individual, a self-thinker. That's what's being cool. And not judging people by their physical appearance, but by their character. I almost said carrot, like Bugs Bunny eats. By their character. Are they a person of integrity? How do they treat other people? Decent? They treat them decent. Sexuality, gender, really? Nobody's telling you because you have a friend that may be a lesbian or considered gay or what have you, or in the LGBT community, let me just leave it at that, or of diversity of any kind, whether any physical appearance, nobody's saying you have to sleep with them. You know, just because you're my friend. Hey, if you're my friend, it may happen. You know, things happen. Things happen. Oh well. Oh well. We have to learn to get over it. But it's not contagious for anybody who's saying it's contagious. Did those gay guys back in Union Alley, did they contaminate me? They touched me. They touched me and all of a sudden I became gay and then a transsexual. Or was this going on all the way at my birth? I don't want to offend anybody when I said that. I mean, did they? Because that's what I've been told. They touch you, you're going to be gay now. That's not true. If they're going to touch me, I may tap into something. Maybe a real love, pure love. Somebody who isn't going to judge me because I'm a transsexual. I met a lot of people in the LGBT community, and I'll tell you what right now, it's no different. They're no different. I feel so sorry for what a lot of them have gone through. And I might not be able to be the best of friends with them because I have a hard time living with people and stuff, but I care. I care. They got big hearts. Big hearts, and they're talented. A lot of them are artists, creative artists. Smart, very smart. My fear of what everybody else was saying was stopping me from having some of the best relationships in my life, and I will never let that happen again. I'm friends with whoever I want to be friends with. Get over it. Let us get over it together. I love you. Yeah. Have you ever sat back and thought, why am I alone? Why am I here by myself? Is it because we're denying people to be our friends, maybe? Maybe because of what other people say or we're judging them. Yeah, different reasons, maybe. So the panties went all the way throughout my life. You can only imagine how happy I was when I bought my first pair of panties. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you how complicated it was because I didn't fully understand. And the fears of other people, what are they going to think when I'm doing this? I don't care anymore, to Be honest with you, I don't care if they know or don't know. You know, some people say that's a transsexual, that's a guy. Is that a girl? Yeah. Just keep the wheels rolling. How about I be whatever you want me to be to you? Doesn't mean I am. It took me a long time to realize that. I'm not what you think I am. You're not what I think you are. You're what you believe you are. Don't stop believing in yourself and keeping your head high. Not that high. A little down there. Right there. A little angled. Tilt. There we go. Flip the hair around. How's that? Hello everyone, my name is Tracilyn, also known as Lickdale. I love you guys. We're getting ready to wrap things up. I don't know how much longer. I think I'm ripping my face. Wrap things up. We're getting ready to go down the road here to gyms. It's a very touchy subject for me. And we're going to have some bouncy ball moments. It's already 9 o'clock at night. I may have to download some of this. I want to finish this up tonight. I'm on a very tight schedule. I have other serious subjects that I want to talk about. Can I just say with gyms that obviously I said in Lafayette Street is what I remembered. Starting working out first. My friend was encouraging it. My brother was starting to work out. Everybody in our house was starting to take karate and stuff like that. Ishinryu karate, for anybody who wants to know, I am skilled in the basics of self-defense in Ishinryu karate. Karate Kid kind of inspired our family a lot, but my brothers and sisters really inspired me, and I got tired of getting my butt kicked. And I'm going to share that with you tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather's nice and I get up early enough. I'm going to take you through my school life. Very tough. So I started working out in the house. In those days, it was weights that you kind of fill up with water. Sometimes they filled it up with sand. You know, it all depends. And it was, of course, heavier and not heavier. It was hard for me. I remember doing my first curls, how funny my arms looked. When I was doing it, it didn't look like the other guys in the neighborhood at all. So there was a big gap here for some reason. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about right here. There's like a gap. I don't know if I can pick it up on the camera. Now I kind of have a little bit. Look at my arm. Look. Look at that muscle. Look at that muscle. You see it? See my muscle? That's my muscle. My bicep. My right bicep. I'm going to shorten this up because I want to move on to some other things. So I remember working out curling in Lafayette Street, looking out the window. I want to be tough. I don't want to be pushed off my bike again. I want to be tough like my superhero friend. Like my brother. You know, my sibling brother. I don't want to get beat up anymore. I don't want to fight, but I already knew by that time. Now I'm in a city school. I already had a hard time starting in the neighborhood. We were just moving in, I think, that day, if I'm not mistaken. It was like right in that area. I already knew. Something in me told me I can't keep living this way. You know, got a fight out in Jonestown with my friend. I don't know who won, what the reason was. And here, and I already started having some bulldogs happening. And my friend I met, so it probably might have been a year or two that I'm living there before I start. So I don't know how old I would have been. I'm assuming probably started working out by the time I was 8, 9 years old. Easily. Did I say easily? Might have been weights at Jonestown that I started lifting with. Maybe, who knows? Maybe beforehand. But I do remember Lafayette Street. My brother's equipment had a bench. And throughout the years, my brother had benches and stuff like that, and weights and different things, and that's what we did. I never felt like you were getting a real good workout in. I never felt like I was really working out with these weights. I didn't see the results that I wanted quick enough. So eventually, as I got older, I started meeting with other people and get more serious about it. A girlfriend of mine had been dating a boyfriend, and let me tell you something, I skipped school one time and he had a Chevelle, a very good looking guy, and I never forget his smile. And very muscular. He actually took me to his house. I think it was just understood what I was going through. I don't think he knew. He may have. I didn't tell him. But I think it was understood. I think that's why a lot of times these guys took me under their wing. It was just understood. You're smaller, you need to... we need to bulk you up a little. So, he takes me to his house. He teaches me drinks, a whole workout program he puts together for me. I mean, this guy has an amazing body. Even to this day, looking back, let me tell you, this guy, it was an art. Art, very big, lots of muscles. I don't know if he did wrestling or not, if he was into posing or what it was. He was into something. Bodybuilding competitions. Let me just tell you, this guy, it was amazing. I was just like, wow, I want to know this guy. You know, and he had an awesome car. So with that being said, I say that a lot. I got to stop that. I'm sorry. With that being said, we go to his place. He gives me a diet, teaches me different tiger milk. Did you ever have that? He made me a drink called tiger milk. When I still remember this day, it had peanut butter, some coconut shavings in there from a real coconut, and you know, did I say peanut butter? It had peanut butter in there. Did I say peanut butter? I love peanut butter. Kind of getting tired of it now. I've been living on it for a while. But peanut butter with, I think, milk and some other things. Look it up online. It's a good protein drink. It's a very amazing, powerful protein drink. Heavy, though, on the calories. Heavy on the calories. And he taught me little things like that. And he would check in on me. Are you working out? Are you working out? That time I started going to a local gym. It was kind of like old school. For anybody who knows me, I love things from way back in the past for some reason. Old school gyms was a big thing for me back then. And I remember when I met the owner of this gym. Oh my gosh. Wow. You want to talk about muscles. His neck was the size of my thighs. I shouldn't even say that. 2 of my thighs together, maybe. I got small thighs now. Oh, his neck was really big, and I was just like, wow. This guy with all this muscle on his neck. And his shoulders, his traps. I always admired that. Look at my traps. My traps. That's girly. Very girly. My traps were nothing like his, trust me. And I admired him a lot. All the guys at the gym admired him, looked up to him. He was big into weight competitions of some sort. He was kind of short, but very muscular. Not making fun of him. He was one of the biggest inspirations for me. I don't know if it was silent between us either, but he knew I needed to bulk up. He gave me a workout program too. I used to work out at the gym all the time, and I'll tell you what, it's intimidating. These guys that with the hair. Let me just say, I hope they don't get upset when I say this, but if I was there now, I'd want to be in my boots. I'd want to be in my lingerie. You know? Very good looking guys. And understand, I had to share a restroom with these guys, a locker room. I was intimidated by this because I'm struggling with my feelings towards guys. My own sexuality, and also kind of insecure with my body because I'm not one way or the other. So I would watch these guys work out, and I was like, I want to be able to do that too. And some of these guys are bench pressing 350 to 450 pounds. I mean, a lot of weight. Trust me. And probably more. Oh, I remember there was some powerhouses, what they called it. They did like a power rap, and they'd have guys standing on either side to make sure nothing ever happened. He always warned me, don't ever do this alone. Or I have stories in the gym to share with you that I did do things alone, and I had black and blue marks on my chest, and I got stuck You know, in the morning, like you'll hear about that sometime maybe. I don't have a whole lot of time to go into my workout routine. It was such a... I was foolish sometimes. I learned there too. I like working out with the machines more than I do the free weights. A lot of exercises, not all of them. But can I tell you, I felt uncomfortable the whole time I was doing it. And I'm looking at everybody else. And these guys, they stuck together and it smelled like a gym. And actually, I like that. I'm going in there with my thong underwear on. Long hair, kind of. Sometimes, this was different ages. I'm bouncing all over now. And I know I like these guys. Some of them were really friendly to me, and please understand, please don't feel insulted if you come across this. I don't mean that we were flirting or nothing. Don't get defensive or nothing like this. I'm just saying there were some guys that they were nice to me as a human being. And they taught me a lot. And I respected them because I knew they had to work. They were die-hard workouters. Is that a word? Bodybuilders. So, with that being said, I'm going to say that a lot. I'm nervous. I'm blushing. I'm blushing because I am telling you that I love about these guys. I liked it because there's a garage and they would open up the doors to work out sometimes, most of the time in the summer. I remember reading the plaques of the owner there, you know, the plaques, the reward, awards that he got, the history of who he was. And he was he would sit in his office and people would, the other guys, they hung out there. They would get drinks or you could buy different containers to make drinks at home. You know, they admired him, they respected him. Absolutely. And the stories he would share, and sometimes they don't know it all the time, but sometimes I would just kind of work out near that area so I could hear. I wanted to try to fit in at this gym. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know how. I was doing the best I could. So because he treated me with so much respect, and they would help me, I would buy his t-shirts. And everybody who knows me during that time, you know who it is. And instead of having a rock and roll t-shirt on now, I had somebody else I was proud of. And I had the opportunity to meet and know, and he was helping me. You'll find out as I talk a little bit. I don't want to get too heavy into it. He helped me a lot to get my body sculpted the way I wanted it to. And watching these other guys was pretty powerful to me. Something in me told me I was going in the wrong direction. Because occasionally a girl would come in there, very seldom. It was mainly guys. Some of these girls were pretty big muscular-wise. Their bodies, of course, were different. And I wanted to look more like they did than the guys. I liked the guys a lot. I wanted to look more like the girl. I used to admire the way she'd be on the bench, or the different girls, I can't remember who, on the bench, and sometimes you do some girls, I wish I could show you right now, I'm kind of tired, but, you know, you get down on the bench and you can kind of put one leg on, and you kind of arch your butt up, and you're just kind of doing your triceps. Maybe someday I'll show you. I'm kind of sad right now in a way. I'll be honest, can I be honest? And I used to think, I heard the guys talking. I didn't talk like that. It was kind of like, but I wanted to be that girl the guys were talking about. I wanted to flirt with them. And now I would. I might get myself in trouble a little, but I would flirt with them. And I would like to think that they'd kind of accept me in. Maybe not. There's not enough education maybe out there yet. And I don't mean that they would accept me in to flirt with me or anything, but just let me be. Tease me maybe a little bit, but that's what guys do. So many good-looking guys. And I'm looking at it as an art form, okay? He was my other hero. And if he sees this and he knows who he is, thank you. Because I got big. I got big. I was doing too much, though. It was destroying my body, believe it or not. It was wearing my body out. And geez, I can't talk all night about this, but let's just say I went in the wrong direction. I'm going to talk about that as a transgender. Went in the wrong direction. I ended up having to get surgery on different parts of my body. He was there through that, encouraging me, get the surgery, stop getting the cortisone shot, just go, or he'd say, just go get a cortisone shot, be done with it for now, or go get the surgery and be done with it. You know, we were talking about things, and because he had things, it happens when you're a bodybuilder, it just happens. You start wearing different body parts out. And I didn't like that. I did like he had tanning beds. And I started using them, and it helped me to feel more girly. And when I was in there, I used to wear my thong panties, of course, because I wanted a little bit of a tan line. I didn't want just to be completely, tan. I wanted a little bit of tan line. At that time, too, I was also thinking about putting pasties on or something, just because, for me, nobody else could see this, but then I was afraid if the girls would see it, what would they think of me, kind of thing. So all this stuff is going through my head. Even there, I hope it doesn't upset anybody, but even there. The gym was a big part of my life. Physical fitness. Let's speed through it here a little bit more. I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to save some of this stuff. I got a little bit more to talk about. I want to take off at the gym. And just know that all those guys meant so much to me, even though there was silence a lot of times as far as to me communicating with them. I snooped around. I learned that in Bunker Hill, how to snoop around. I would listen to their conversations, and I didn't know how to fit in. I wanted to. Guaranteed nobody messed with me if I had friends like that. That's not the only reason I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in. I needed to fit in some way. And the owner of that gym made me feel like I was part of the family. So even though I didn't really talk to other people, occasionally I did. I wore his shirt proudly. We had a lot of talks. Thank you. If you ever see this, thank you. For just letting me be a human. Okay. Get back with you. I'm going to change some things around here. Take a short break. Love you guys.